you should never allow mass migration because those people do not care about your country. I believe in immigration. People that have shared values, bring them into your country.
For sure.
I don't fly the Canadian flag. I hate Canada. A week before Charlie was shot, I was on his podcast. He's probably one of the more brilliant people I know in the entirety of Christianity. On the Wednesday, I got a text message saying that Charlie just got shot. And I'm like, what? I'm starting to realize they killed our nicest guy. All I know is we're living in a different America.
I was out with a friend the other day and he was anti-church. And the reason he's come back and been curious again is because of Charlie. Because he saw horrific evil and that was a wake-up call for him.
Forrest Frank wouldn't be the first person that didn't show up to an awards show to win things. In fact, artists do it all the time.
So it begs the question, why put that online?
You can't see this Nietzschean will to power of borrowing virtue from the entire Dove Awards show by making it about yourself and then announcing to your 7 million followers that you're not going. What I'd love Forrest Frank to be is hedge in your performance. Just let us know that you're being silly. Just be like, that was silly and I want to be at the Grammys. And I'll be like, that's the coolest thing ever.
Do you think he'll go?
I think that he...
Thank you so much for joining us today. And just before we get into it, if you have not subscribed yet, please consider subscribing. We are so thankful for everyone who already has and everyone that just listens to this podcast. This is a labor of love. We do this for you and to get the guests you want to see on this show. So please consider subscribing and enjoy today's episode.
Well, welcome back to the Kingdom Creators Podcast. My name's Sam. This is Cam. Oh, sorry, bro.
You right, bro?
You got an extra set?
Yeah, just an extra set just in case.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And the much anticipated part 2 with Mr. Nathan Finochio.
Welcome to the jungle.
What's your Australian name, considering you look like you just came from the Sydney Bears football team?
Steve-O.
Steve-O?
Yeah.
All right, Steve-O. So we'll refer to Steve-O when unhinged things are said?
Yeah, Steve-O.
Yeah. Tuies. Steve-O Tuies.
Steve-O Tuies?
Yeah.
Do you like a Tuies or?
Tuies old.
Oh, you don't drink. That's
Tuies
what we
old.
established this on the last one.
Yeah, I don't drink ever.
What have you been
Christian.
up to since the last pod? Like what's been happening?
John chapter 2 where Jesus turned the water into wine? That actually never happened.
Yeah.
It was added later.
Wasn't it grape juice?
Yeah, it was grape juice. Yeah. The alcohol back then wasn't the same. So they couldn't get drunk.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know how the Bible says do not get drunk with wine?
Yes.
That same word wine, it means non-alcoholic.
Yeah, it's the same word in English for non-alcoholic.
Exactly.
Shots fired?
You know how when Noah got hammered after he made a
Yes, he
vineyard?
got naked, yeah.
He didn't. That was added later. It's the water, the alcohol wasn't the same.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So if the alcohol wasn't the same, how can you get drunk?
Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So got a bit of backlash from the last chat we had.
Why? We're just 3 friends.
Yeah.
Just 3 Girl Scouts around the campfire.
Correct.
Roasting marshmallows and yarning a few.
Thank you to this episode's sponsor, the Christian Music Conference. If you're a Christian artist, manager, worship leader, or someone who knows this nation carries a sound, this is for you. The Christian Music Conference is gathering the people who shape what Australia hears. One day in Sydney, one room, one purpose. To grow the genre, to advance the gospel. This is where real conversations happen, where connection turns into calling, and where the next chapter of Christian music gets written. So seats are limited, so you need to book now. Reserve your spot and be a part of the future of Christian music in Australia. Firstly, before we go, you've just launched a conference? Tell us about it, bro.
Yeah, so Christian Music Conference, it's a one-day ticketed Christian music industry event in Sydney, Australia, hosted at APRA AMCOS. It's going to unite all 4 corners of the Christian music industry in Australia. And the idea is to grow the genre and advance the gospel. So anyone that's interested in Christian music or involved in Christian music in some way, it's not a worship event. This is for people that are working in management, publishing, labels, marketing, maybe DSPs, or those wanting to get involved in the industry. You're all welcome. It's going to be sick.
Elevator pitch, phenomenal.
Why would a Christian get involved in the Christian music industry? Doesn't industry just make things evil and wicked?
Yeah, of course it does.
Yeah, if you work on something, isn't that antithetical to the gospel?
Immediately.
It immediately makes the message impure.
Immediately.
Yeah.
Yeah, corrupted, full of sin. So ultimately, it's no longer for Christ; it's for your own personal gain.
Ambition is ungodly.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Hustle. Forget it.
It's absolutely.
Yeah. Highway to hell.
You should not be a good steward of the management that you've been given.
I would say
You should decrease it. In fact, hide it in the sand.
Yeah.
Because that is the purest thing that
I would say if God has given you the ability to work in industry, let's say the Christian music industry, bury it in the sand.
Yeah.
Don't be faithful with it. In fact, squander it.
Yeah. Nobody should work on your music.
No one. They shouldn't be involved.
Who hurt you guys?
Yeah. A lot of people.
You come from a hurt background, I can tell.
I gotta be honest with you. I remember I don't know if you guys knew this, but Keith Green didn't charge for his
CDs.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
He didn't
He
charge.
gave them away. Not initially. He did.
Correct.
It
No, no,
came
yeah.
later.
After
Yeah.
he made his
Yeah.
money?
But
No, dude, I'm actually a big Keith Green fan. But
same. But I texted my dad like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, didn't Keith Green die in a plane crash? Like it was his own plane.
yeah.
Oh yeah, he did, didn't
And
he?
this is back in the 80s.
So
Yeah. So it's like the math ain't mathin'. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I was like, Dad, how did he die in a plane crash? It's his own plane. But you know what I mean? And he owned a freaking compound. I've been to him and Leonard Ravenhill's grave in East Texas, in Tyler, Texas. Like it's where Teen Mania bought it from Last Days Ministries. So it's like you know what I mean? He had a lot of. I think there's like obviously or not obviously, but obviously, Dad said that there were like ministry partners that sewed into his ministry.
That's cool.
You know what I mean? Like so. And when you're in demand and stuff, you got to fly places and all that. So I'm actually not dumping on Keith Green. I think that the guy was a freaking legend, and it's so sad that we lost him. What I'm just saying though is like, people would be against his 501c3 statements. People always find a bone to pick with everything. Like so if you sell your stuff, it's simony. If people give you money, it's simony. Like you can't win.
Saw a reel the other day that Jeremy Riddle did.
Jeremy Riddle is a prophetic voice. And we need prophetic voices. And he's just saying, hey, guys, just keep Jesus at the center of it. And if that is what he could do, then it would be like awesome.
What's the alternative that he's providing? What's the
He's not.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
Okay.
He just made a complaint, a criticism.
No. I like what Sam. I like what Cam said at the top of it. And I'll add this. I find that prophetic voices are often they don't necessarily need to come up with another option to be prophetic, if that makes sense. What they can do is they can warn. Now, it is a little bit frustrating when there's no, offer an alternative at all, and ironically, you're eating
from the same thing you're calling out.
Correct. But for example, Brian Zond is a prophetic voice that tells the church not to, or reminds nationalists not to worship their country, but to keep God, at the top. Right now, that's great. I disagree with Brian that we cannot have multiple loyalties. For example, like if I love the Lord, doesn't mean that I'm going to cheat on my wife. You know what I mean? Like you can love the Lord, and because I love the Lord, I can love my wife well. Does that make sense?
Yeah, right.
So. Loving your nation too much doesn't mean you're going to go and attack another nation.
Right.
Right. It's absolutely ludicrous. And
Yeah. Just because you love your nation, that means you hate every other nation. Sure.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. So long story short, he attacks awards shows. He attacks the industry.
Yeah.
He makes everything faceless and nameless. And it's just kind of like, dude, we need people in the industry. Well, there's dirty money in it. Well, there was I'm sure somebody bought Starbucks while they were recording your song. You know what I mean? So was your song funded by Planned Parenthood? You know what I mean? Like, did you, is there a couple cents
correlation? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, are your songs dirty somehow? Because, Starbucks is directly responsible for killing babies.
Yeah. Like how far do you go with it? Yeah.
Correct. So yeah, it's just one of those things where, the lazy critique is to call something the industrial complex, the worship industrial complex or the evangelical industrial complex. It's lazy work. Because what it does is it makes industry or ambition just automatically pejorative, and it's not. It is not a pejorative. The first thing that God said to humanity when he had us is be fruitful and multiply.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the first two words out of his mouth. So
To humankind.
exactly. It wasn't, hey, come have a snuggy wuggy. You know, it was rise and grind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so that should be telling. So industry, as Cam said, is in any sphere is great. And for Christians, guys like Jeremy will remind us once again, what's the good thing? Keep Jesus at the center of it. Forrest Frank, for example, same thing. Keep Jesus at the center of it. Okay, fine. That's fine. But don't crap on an award show.
I don't know if Forrest was crapping on an award show though. I don't know much about Jeremy, but
Well, let's talk about it.
Well, I rewatched it again this morning. So
we were
Forrest
talking about
goes
it last night.
Forrest goes. We were talking about it last night over a very Christian game.
Yeah, correct.
Friendly.
Yeah, to which you
All the money was donated to
all the chips.
Yeah, all money donated to charity.
to Timmy, wasn't it?
To Timmy.
Timmy's Cancer Fund.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Forrest says, "This is my personal conviction." Note 1. And note 2 is, where do you draw a line in the sand? He goes, I'm drawing it here. And he drew the line in the sand as to not accepting an award, a little piece of plastic made in China that a God-loving person is handing over for, congratulations of some incredible work. That's where he chose to draw the line in the sand.
Bro.
That's what he said.
Bro, yeah.
His word, hang on, is my personal conviction, and I've got to draw a line in the sand. And that's where he drew it. He drew it right before the Dove Awards. And I go, well, firstly, it's not very personal when it's going out to 7 million, the biggest platform in Christian music history. And, I'm reminded of what
his page, you mean?
Well, his page, right? Now, he is welcome to his personal conviction. And Paul tells us in Romans 14, he goes, whether you eat meat or you don't, whether you observe one day or you observe every day, who are you to hold that over another? And my issue with what Forrest has done, and it comes across as he's holding this over another. And you got all these young people and I was at the Dove Awards this year, these young people accepting
So what is he supposed to do though? Because is he just meant to tell his family that he's not going to go to the Dove Awards?
Well, it's not a sin to go to the Dove Awards.
Yeah, but he feels his conviction is to not attend.
But he said, it's my personal conviction. Well, it's not very personal anymore. Well, and Paul would say, do not lord
But
this
how does he be personal now? How does he be personal with the platform that he's got?
Well, but this is what I'm saying. Like there are some things that are for everyone, and there's some things that are for yourself.
Yes.
And so like I don't need to put on Instagram when I'm on my knees having my quiet time with Jesus. That's ridiculous.
How's that ridiculous?
Okay. So this is actually coming into a larger, great question, great pushback. Let me answer. I think that the social media age has ushered in an entire wave of nonsense that we're so swimming in that nobody critiques anymore. There's no critique of anything that's happening online because we're so used to, and the irony is, to use Jeremy Riddle's term, borrowing from the world, right? So
yeah, I see what you mean.
There's this. So in Gen Z, it's not just located to Gen Z, but it definitely, it's the engine is probably in Gen Z and some in millennials as well. Performative virtue. Performative virtue is the capital that everybody has. In fact, it's the only capital that Gen Z has and millennials. They don't have money, they have virtue. So,
people liking, viewing, watching, following.
Exactly.
The appearance of
the boomers cared about money. Gen Z doesn't have the opportunity to care about money.
Sure.
So what they have is virtue.
I agree with that.
And so everybody just virtue signals. It's just constant virtue signaling. So crying on camera, praying in the green room. Like Jesus said, hey, when you pray, like don't put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now we have pastors literally going, I was travailing in prayer and crying on my knees in the green room. So it's like, are you okay? Do you have any friends? Do you know what I mean? Like, That's not cool. If my friend did that, I would literally text them the most verbally abusive text ever. I'd bully them. I'd just be like, dude, you're a loser. You're a loser. That's not you. What the heck?
And the irony, that would be good for them. They need to hear it.
Absolutely.
They need to hear it.
Real friends don't let other friends be weird, right?
Do you think Forrest is weird?
Well, you can't take a joke.
I'm not saying Forrest is weird. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is there is, it's like nobody is critiquing what is absolutely weird. And I think that virtue signaling and oversharing and all that stuff I don't see how it is remotely appropriate. So like, for example, like we're talking about Romans 14. Romans 14, Paul literally says, keep it between you and God. You know what I mean? Like The
Keep
person,
what between you and God?
The observance of days or not, or eating meat or not eating meat.
Yeah.
So there's certain things he goes, I'm not calling it sin. I'm not making a law around it. He goes, some stuff's just like, that's just for you. You know, like if you,
Sure, yeah.
a person, totally. So now I'll say this, you know, like you could say, for example, look, hey guys, I'm the pastor of this church. It's a personal conviction of mine that I don't drink, but I don't have anything against people that drink.
Sure.
This is what pastors do. This is what people with wisdom do. They say their personal conviction, and then they let everybody else off the hook.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they just go, look, so, you know, my personal conviction is, this is what my dad's like. My dad's like, I don't drink. It's my personal conviction, but I have nothing against, there's nowhere in scripture that tells people not to drink. And if you could do that and you have faith for it, do it, go for it. But my personal convictions, so
That's very healthy.
totally. So nobody is losing.
So I would say if we're talking about Forrest, I'd say he did that. I would say he said, this is where I'm drawing the line in the sand. This is where I'm saying I don't want to participate in the awards. Even his friend, his rapper friend, Holvey, came out and said, we respect his decision. He's decided not to be here and that's fine. Like, no, I don't know if anyone's getting as cut up about it. I don't know, like.
Yeah. I think.
What is the problem? So my thing is, like, what is the problem with him going, okay, this is where I'm drawing the line in the sand. And let's just say this is a really personal conviction for him.
Yeah.
What does he do?
So totally. So I guess
he didn't throw or cast. He just said, this is where I'm doing it.
I think that he didn't let other people go with dignity. I think that was my bone to pick. My bone to pick was, okay, that's fine, but just say, and look, if other people go, there's nothing wrong with the Dove Awards. This is just my conviction, but he didn't give people permission to do it with purity. Yeah. Does that make sense? So it was like, so he juxtaposed himself and his conviction against everybody else who's impure, doesn't have convictions, etc. And so what I'm saying is if you're going to make a bold statement like that, make sure that it's grace-filled. Number one. Number two.
You felt like it wasn't grace-filled.
Not for people that go to the awards show or for the industry. Okay. And to be honest with you, I'm not even a part of the industry, but I'm just sick of all of the pushback on the industry pushback, industrial complex. It's like.
Yeah, it's a bigger thing for you. Yeah.
And then, secondly, now he's painted himself into a corner because he's been nominated for a Grammy, and I'm dying laughing. Because if he goes to the Grammys, he's so two-faced, it's crazy.
And if he doesn't?
Then he's consistent. Cool. But he can't go to the Grammys now.
No, I agree with that. He can't.
And which is devastating.
I don't know if he will.
You know what? He would. How amazing would it have been to have had Forrest at the Grammys? As bold and courageous as he is for the gospel.
Yeah, sure.
That's what I mean. It's
Doves.
Like, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, dude, just go to the Doves. Thank everybody who's so the appropriate thing would have been, don't make it about yourself. Make it about your team. Bring some of your team up. You ever seen the Oscars and they start going, hey, I just want to thank the director. I want to thank my family. You know what I mean? It's like
so cool. It's so cool.
Totally, because what you do is you go, wow, this is bigger than me. And there's people that have made my producer, who, you know, the songwriters who, you know, my manager. There was times I didn't believe in myself, and my manager really, you know, my mom, you know.
So cool. Jesus. Whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank the God, Lord. I just want to thank God for like this opportunity to it's just like, dude, that's what it's about. It's actually not even about you. So tell us, bring people along.
Oh, I don't know if it's not, I don't know if it, like, I kind of agree, I guess, in essence, but I think like it is about him. It is actually all about him. It's all like it is a to receive an award if I'm a viewer, I'm not watching the Dove Awards thinking, look at the team, look at the parents, look at the producers. You guys do that maybe because you're in the industry. The general public can't do it. They're going, wow, look at Forrest. And maybe he just doesn't want to be lifted up on a pedestal. Plus, can I also say this? I think
if he doesn't want to be lifted up on a pedestal, then he should just get off of Instagram.
Why though? But that's where everyone is. And we're talking about to be an evangelist. Why? Like he's reaching far more non-Christians or far more people than we are.
Do you think he is?
I think so.
I was a part of a reaching church.
What's that?
I was a part of a reaching church for...
Oh, reaching, yeah, gotcha. Yeah.
In a large city in America. And I wonder how many Christians... it's almost like it's turned me Calvinist. I'm a Calvinist on Tuesdays and Thursdays now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, where are they? Where are they all? You know what I mean? Like, where's the crowd? Where are all... Like, there were I remember two young ladies that I encouraged to go to college. And they went away to college, to Bible college. and they came back and they're completely deconstructed and they're no longer serving the Lord.
Yeah, mental.
You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah.
so I don't know. I think I probably, this is probably some deeper water that I'm having to wade through at the moment. I think it matters how you learn Christ. I think it matters how, I don't know. I'm highly, if my cousin who is ungodly was, well, we had listen to Forrest Frank and then was like, yo, I think I'm going to become a Christian because of Forrest Frank. I'd be like, that's actually fire. That's awesome. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, that's great. But I don't know. I'd still probably.
You don't know if that's happening.
No, I'd just say, like, let's say it is happening.
I reckon it is, to be fair.
Totally.
Yeah.
Let's say it is happening. Let's say that 1 million people have come to know Jesus because of Forrest Frank. I'd just be like, I've seen hundreds of thousands of people put their hand up and respond to a gospel message. But
Where are they?
Exactly? Because what was presented to them was not the gospel. You know what I mean? Like it just wasn't.
Well, it comes back to our last conversation about the seeker-friendly idea is that we go, put your hand up, then what? Like no one knows what they're in for.
Right.
Can I maybe rewind a little bit back to the doves idea? I was thinking about this in our chat last night and I thought, I think this is a larger cultural shift going on that honestly, Gen Z, even millennials to an extent, Gen Alpha, don't care about the Dove Awards. They don't care about the Grammys. They don't want the glitz and glamour. They don't want the Hollywood star. They just want the real freaking thing. And you know what? Whether you think Forrest is virtue signaling or if he's being 100% authentic, at least it seems like he's being real because we haven't gotten real. We haven't gotten honest. We haven't gotten authentic. And to be honest, I think that's what is happening. It's a shift between the suit, glitz, makeup, and glamour of, say, your generation and mine, and the next generation do not care. They would prefer the real thing that's messy and.
Let it be clear, I have no issue with Forrest not going to the Doves and having position. What my gripe with it is Romans 14. It's like it's lording over other people that do. And if there's no grace afforded to anyone, and you could feel it in the room when we were there because he said it the day before.
Sure, it was, yeah, okay. Well, I was out with a friend the other day and I'm not drinking at the moment. And I do drink usually, but I'm not drinking at the moment. And
you're a Christian.
Because I'm a Christian and I read Romans. And he bought me a beer and because he didn't know I'm not drinking at the moment. I'm telling you the whole catch up changed because I just said, hey, I'm not drinking at the moment, man. He goes, oh, why not? Like there was an immediate visceral reaction and we're good friends. And I was like, oh, I feel at the moment to not drink until Christmas. That's what I felt. God, how did God say that? Why did God? And immediately it was a visceral reaction to the conviction. What am I meant to do in that moment? I'm not going to drink the beer. I got to tell him and be honest with him. This is my conviction right now. And that's the reaction I got. And as I was thinking about this, as we're talking about it, I think a similar reaction has happened. I feel convicted not to go to the Doves is what his conviction. Let's say he's being 100% himself and authentic in that, right? Of course, people are going to be, oh, so you're saying that me going is bad, or you're saying like that is a normal reaction to submitting a conviction to somebody. And I just think that I feel like he was being authentic. And now this is just my assumption. I don't know him. I've never met him. I feel like he was being authentic in that approach and just going, hey, like, I just don't feel to go. And maybe that was a really difficult decision for him to make. And of course, people are going to push back. Of course, because they're all going.
So it begs the question, why put that online? Like, you know what? He just didn't.
What's he meant to do? Okay.
What's he meant to do? What anyone for 6,000 years of human history has done and just kept it to yourself?
That's
exactly ignorant. I'll tell you why. What's he meant to do? So he's meant to, Dove Awards are on. He's nominated. I think he was Artist of the Year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And so what, he just doesn't go?
Happens all the time. People are on tour. People
doesn't say anything, or does he lie?
It happens all the time. And like you said, no one cares.
Let's just say, let's play it out. It's his conviction, right? He doesn't want to go. Or he feels to not go. So he doesn't go, but he doesn't tell anyone. He tells his wife and his family. Then what?
So Marlon Brando used to do this all the time for the Oscars. He boycotted the Oscars for years, and he would send like a Native American princess in his place to accept his thing.
So Forrest meant to do that?
I'm saying that there are creative ways of boycotting things if you want to boycott things.
Well,
there's a lot of people. By the way, he wouldn't be the first person that didn't show up to an awards show to win things. In fact, artists do it all the time. Like, so announcing it.
Okay, so your gripe is his announcement.
No. My gripe is that you can't see this Nietzschean will to power through
Extraordinary.
the paradox of borrowing virtue from the entire Dove Awards show by making it about yourself and announcing to your 7 million followers that you're not going. It is like, so I'm 42. When I was in my 20s, it was the same thing. Like, this is, by the way, this is, I reckon Gen Z wants authentic and pure. Yes, so like that is literally every 20-year-old. Every 20-year-old looks at the world and they're the young cynic and they want to burn it down. And then there's the old cynic. The old cynic looks at the world and knows it's broken, but laughs and sees that there's some things that you actually need to keep in it. And the older I get, the more I realize, like, yeah, there's some things that suck, but there's also some things that are worth conserving. There's also a larger thing at play here where I think that our world has become, particularly in the West, there is an unrest toward all authority and all elitism.
Agree.
And it's happening en masse. I mean, we just saw it happen in New York City with the election of Zoran Mandani. You know, it's kind of just like that's kind of hard and it's difficult because it's like 90% of immigrants and illegals, they all voted for him. Which, side note, is why you should never allow mass migration because those people do not care about your country.
Correct.
And they're going to bring their values that destroyed their country into your country. You know, so that is why immigration is. You should bring people. I believe in immigration. People that have shared values, bring them into your country.
For sure.
Well, that's what happened the first 100 years of Australia. We brought Italians and Greeks and Croatians, Europeans from Christian countries.
There's many legitimate. I was an immigrant to the US. I paid $250,000 to get there. So why should other people?
Because you hold the same value.
And I'm bringing value. So I see value in going to America, and I see value in me coming too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Long story short, I'm an immigrant as well. And I don't fly the Canadian flag.
Yeah.
I hate Canada and I'd rather be in the United States. That's how you immigrate into a country.
I didn't know you were Canadian.
Yeah, it's awful.
There we go.
So
sorry.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you should see Canada. It's ridiculous. You go there and all these people from failed states living there.
Yeah.
So you've got this deep unrest and people, like, for example, like the whole church hurt thing. There's a collective of people distrusting authority and distrusting elitism, and I can see it. It's starting to bubble. You know, Trump is literally that, but for boomers. You know what I mean? Like Trump is the establishment. The establishment has let us down, so we need to put in Trump, who says all the wrong things. And you know what I mean? Like, and Zoran in many ways is the Trump of the left. He says all the wrong things. It's, you know what I mean?
Interesting parallel.
So so politics have become, the politics that are working on left and right are all anti-establishment politics. So I would just say, hey, don't be so naive about a guy with 7 million followers. He's an elitist. He's using you and he's using everybody else. And he's not even aware of it. But Nietzsche believed this, that everybody has this will to power. And people have used Christianity and what is the framework? The cultural framework of Christianity is compassion, right? Like Christians are like insanely compassionate. There are no Christians, even the most right fundamentalist Christians are compassionate. They give their money away. They adopt children from Haiti. They're like, you know what I mean? Like they're like, they find needs, etc. They might not be socialists. They might not want the government to be making those calls, but individually, I mean, they're insanely generous. And so compassion is the groundwork of the Christian world. What people do then is they use compassion for social mobility. So, like, if you do something virtuous, if you do something compassionate, you can change that into some sort of capital and create some social mobility. So This is why we have to be so careful about people who virtue signal from their platforms, because what they're doing is they're just tapping into the underlying Christian telos, which is compassion is our highest virtue. So anytime anybody does anything remotely virtuous and they publicize it, it's will to power. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm going low. You're going low so that you can go high. Do you know what I mean? Now, there's nothing
Intentionally?
Absolutely.
So
Because everybody has will to power. Every single person. And that is Nietzsche's critique of
It's a core
Christianity.
human motivation.
Totally.
Yeah.
So everything that we do is will to power. Every single thing. The reason why people rage quit something, to get power back. The reason why somebody doesn't quit
Sure,
to get power to get power back.
Yes.
It's all about maintaining power. You know, like that's the underlying. No, I'm not saying, I'm not being Marxist here. I'm just observing that, even like, for example, like, forget the binary of oppressed versus oppressor, or power versus the powerless. Even the powerless find ways to take power. Does that make sense? Like, because they're all power motivated. So like, my recommendation to Gen Z and to millennials is, when somebody with 7 million followers is playing virtuous, really? Really? Like, really? 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 You know what I mean? Like, you're that naive? You're that naive? Like, just don't go. Don't tell anybody.
That's it.
Just don't go.
That's where we started.
Yeah.
And that's where we'll finish.
You praying? Pray in your prayer closet.
I agree with that.
If you give, if you tithe, if you offer, if you took care of somebody on the road, don't tell anybody.
Yeah. That's the Christian
You know what I mean?
way.
If you write an amazing devotional song, what if you kept it between you and God?
Yeah.
And you never shared it? Like, that's the cool stuff. That's the Christian stuff. But the moment that I tell somebody that I did a good act,
So
I've truly received my reward.
So Nate, I agree with all that, but what's the difference between you getting up and speaking in front of 10,000 people,
Okay.
telling your testimony, sharing about your prayer closet, whatever it is, I gave this amount of money
as an instructor? Totally. So there's people whose their job is, it is literally their responsibility from Jesus to teach people generosity, because there's people who don't know how to be generous. There's people that don't know how to pray. And so they'll get up and they'll go, this is my morning routine. And I'm sharing this with you, not to but somebody shared it with me.
So what if that's Forrest's heart? Like, if let's look at him in good light. What if that's his heart?
So his heart is to mentor people and to not go to the devil words?
What if he feels to bring light to something from his conviction?
Okay, so do so without crapping on everybody else.
And there's no sin in going to the devil. This is the thing. He's not going, hey, abstain from sexual immorality.
I don't think he said that. I don't think he said that there was a sin to go, but implied.
It was absolutely.
I saw Jeremy's post after. I think that was definitely implied.
Yeah.
But then I don't know if Forrest's original one was implied like that.
I think that he's a smart boy, and I think that he can clarify. It's very easy. I mean, you're smart, Sam. Like I trust that if you had a Christian, you go, hey, I'm drinking. No, you drink. That's fine. It's my conviction that
I gave him my beer.
Well, exactly. So all I'm saying is that what you didn't do is pour it on the ground and go.
Sure, and make him feel like it. Yeah,
correct.
Sure. I can understand that.
We're all so when somebody does something like when they act out and you don't see a balance, you wonder, does this person have any friends?
Or a pastor.
Totally. Like when I see a famous pastor do something weird on social media, like just weird, I just go, this guy has no friends. Wow. He has no friends. Because no friend would look over his sermon and go, that's appropriate. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. No, that's actually cool. Like, friends bully each other into being normal. That's
100%.
literally what we do.
Iron sharpen iron.
Yeah, like him and I, without knowing, bullied a friend yesterday who had posted something on social media. And if I told you this friend is world famous in the Christian music industry.
Yeah, right.
Him and I, we both separately bully this dude for something that he posted.
Right.
And we're just literally giving him the boots.
In the DMs, just Yeah.
separately.
No,
Separate.
yeah, and then we talked about it.
Like, what the hell? Why'd you post that?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. It was more like, why did you do that? It's like, what? Like, dude,
Yeah.
like,
And we're brothers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, as in,
totally. And he can take it. And
you got relationship.
yeah.
You got capital.
And and like, honestly, I have friends. I'm going to give you a personal example.
Yeah.
So,
You were praying the other day. No, just kidding.
Christian Stanfill has been sober for 5 years. I saw this yesterday on social media. Okay.
I don't know who that is.
He is a worship leader for Passion.
Okay.
Okay. So ever since year 1, I've been commenting, I've been sober for 1 minute.
Okay.
And people get so angry.
Yeah.
So then year 2,
Do you know him?
2 years sober. No,
Okay.
never met him. And I'm like,
comment.
totally. And I'm like, he's like, yeah. I'm like, 2 minutes sober. Loving these beers. I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it a little bit like, well, this is a bit performative. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm allergic to performative, right?
Okay.
And I don't think that he's necessarily trying to. It's just that he is. You know what I mean? Like So I think the guy has the purest heart. You know what I mean? Like everybody that knows him, they're like, this dude is the most legit. It's amazing.
but it may not mean they're walking with wisdom. They might be pure.
Totally. Anyways, yeah. So I'm just kind of giving him a hard time. Anyways, so yesterday he posts 5 years. Okay. And at year 3, same thing, like
Long standing.
yeah, 3 minutes, you know what I mean? Joel Houston.
Who, sorry?
Joel Houston DMs me.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, stop.
No.
Yeah. He's like, stop. Dude, he's like, he's the nicest guy. You just look like a dick. And I'm like,
Now you're going to do it even more.
no, I'm like, Joel's looking out for me.
Right.
So I stopped. Year 4 and year 5, I let him go. Do you know what I mean? Like, but a friend will be like, you look like a dick. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm actually not trying to come across as a dick. I'm actually just making light.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of like, it's so heavy. It's like 3 years sober. I'm like, you know what I mean? It's like, anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about humor. What about Corey and Forrest's jokey joke? Remember Forrest couldn't take the joke.
Right. Yeah, what about it?
Yeah, well, we're talking about. I just was opening up the topic.
You just
Thought you'd like to speak to it
at random?
No, because we were talking about making jokes.
Jokes? Oh, I don't make jokes, actually. I'm a Christian.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, jokes are actually sinful.
Thank you.
And if you are offended at a joke, you have every right. You're in the right to thrash at somebody or be hurt by something. You should take everything personally. I'm a big believer in taking things personally.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like if let's say, for example, I'm mowing the lawn and I run my foot over and I cut it up, and then I'm like, so then obviously I get on Instagram and I'm like, look at my foot, it's bleeding. Right? And I show everybody I'm crying. And then I'm like, I can't play the piano because my foot hurts. The pain's insane. And then I finally write a song and I'm like, God, like you saved me from losing a toe, right? And then somebody goes,
good.
Well, that's actually funny, Nate, but this was a serious song about, I was genuinely thankful that God saved me from losing a toe. And then somebody has the audacity to make a joke about God saving their finger, when their toddler bit it, when they were offering them Swiss cheese or something. That would hurt my feelings. I would unfriend them and I'd tell the whole world about it, actually. I'd get on Instagram and I'd tell everybody how hurt I was. Because I think it's not only appropriate to be upset about something, but to share how upset you are about something online with everybody.
I disagree.
I'm a big believer in that.
You know how we're talking about Joel DMing you as a friend?
Yeah.
And saying you're a dick or you guys bullying your friend.
Our friend, yeah.
Right. I think it's a very positive thing. But if somebody, say, I don't know, and has never spoken to or ever met, makes a joke like that,
yeah,
that would hurt my feelings. And that person has of equal status in my industry, say another agency owner, they own an agency and they just start shredding me as a joke. And they think it's funny because they can assume they're allowed to do that. But there's no friendship, there's no capital, there's no relationship, no nothing. I would be cut.
Yeah.
I'd be upset about that. And especially if that person was another Christian.
Yeah.
And so
Well, then the only appropriate thing then
would be to contact them directly.
No, is exactly just to be offended. Because as a Christian, you have rights to be offended at everything. Anytime you feel something, you feel upset, attacked. You have a right to be offended. You know what I mean? And so I would just pray into that and just be like, God, make me more offended. You know what I mean? Because
so in the Forrest and Corey thing, I think the arc was phenomenal. I think the arc was beautiful, seeing reconciliation. And I know you guys disagree with me. That's fine. Hey, we were allowed
performative reconciliation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I know that Gen Z is into performative everything. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. And then they performed reconciliation together. Then they performed a song together. Now they're performing going to each other's birthday parties. This is my favorite online real relates. We're just into authenticity, everybody. Like this, the thing is this.
But
this is authenticity.
Nate, this is the world we live in, bro. Like this is like I don't know what you mean. Like what else are they meant to do?
Well, that's the problem. That is the problem.
So the problem is much more meta than that. It's the social media problem. That's a problem in itself.
Well, imagining that that's the real world, for starters. Imagining that social media followings are purely business.
Yes, I do agree with that.
It's financial.
And it's not real.
Nothing more than financial, right? It's top of the funnel marketing for everything that you do. If you have 10,000 followers, that's capital. You have an audience, right? So everything that you're doing is selling.
Is that what you're doing?
Absolutely.
And that's okay?
Of course.
Because he's not masquerading as something else.
Yeah, I sell.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, he's selling books. He's obviously
selling theology.
He's a preacher.
And so you're not selling books saying, oh, but like I don't want to like.
I'm marketing myself.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm marketing myself. So everything that you're doing online is it's marketing in every single way. If I post a picture of my family, I'm marketing myself.
So can marketing be good?
Of course.
So could they be marketing?
But just don't go to a magazine and expect authenticity. Don't go to, you know what I mean? Like don't go to a place where it's literally marketing. You find authenticity in your small group at your church. Mm-hmm. You find authenticity. This is why we serve.
Agree.
This is why we have real friends. Like, and how do we get those real friends, Cameron? Through serving at church.
100%.
So we met this guy that we were talking about. We both DM'd.
Yeah.
Serving.
Yeah.
Volunteering, not getting paid.
Yeah.
And just the long hours, pumping in at exactly 5 a.m, going home at
best
12
memories.
at night. Best days ever.
Yeah,
best friends.
Agree. Totally.
You meet real friends in the trenches of kingdom building.
Totally agree.
Love that.
I completely agree.
Totally. Not on social media.
Brothers.
Yeah. And so I've never met somebody on social media, and gone, oh yeah, we're friends now. We're not friends. We're acquaintances, but
and you can become friends. So it's a first
good. Yeah, absolutely. But community is where you become. Let's not confuse online community with real community.
Agree with that. Totally. Agree.
So for me, the use of that term authenticity is be careful with that, because what is on social media? Let's just be a little grown up about it. It's marketing. So now, is Corey and Forrest's relationship real? I'm not here to say what is real and what's not real. I'm just here to say I am. We could all be better at spotting what is performative.
Yes,
and holding people to a very reasonable metric for performance. Just be like, that's just performative. I'm just not into it. So
yes,
if you're Gen Z and you're into authenticity, don't tell me that somebody who is just continually performative is authentic. It's just like, I can't take you seriously.
So can you be authentic, or can you be non-performative on Instagram and TikTok, or is it just it's a nature of clicking sign up?
Okay, totally. So for example, let's say I'm sharing some thoughts on the Acts chapter 2.
Right.
Okay. So I'm doing that because A, I'm a teacher, it's my job.
Mm-hmm.
And B, I want people to know what I do for my living, and then point them back to my resources. So, hey, this is my job. This is how I feed my family. This is how I provide. This is my ministry, or this is my business. These are the guys that I work with. Theos you, da 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 da. This is my Substack, and so it all kind of goes towards that. And here's some silly songs. Here's some pictures of me riding a roller coaster, and I was scared. It's like I went and saw Mulan for the 18th time on Broadway. You share little pieces so you humanize yourself. It's all marketing. It's all marketing.
Yeah, it's all. So that's what you're saying.
All of it, totally.
Yes.
Now, that's fine. And we there's kind of an agreement. We have a social agreement that, you can share things about your life and you can share things about your journey. I have a friend who had cancer. She shared her whole journey for the last 2 years on breast cancer. And it was really sobering and really beautiful. And the way that she shared.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. And the way that she shared like the ups and downs and going through chemotherapy and losing her hair and losing weight and all this stuff. It's just like, it was powerful. And the grace with which she did it. And she shared moments where she was crying and she was in pain and her husband is holding her. And now she's cancer free. And she's coming up the mountain again, and she's sharing the joy and the journey of healing now. So like, I'm fine with that. You know what I mean? Like, cancer is not her personality. She didn't blow up that way. It was a pit stop, and she allowed us into her world.
Wow. That's beautiful.
That's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't inauthentic for her to do that. No, I think it was super authentic because that's what she was kind of like. Hi guys, my business is sort of on hold right now because I got sick, and so.
Can you see the similarity between that and Forrest or not? When I think of that, I think he's trying his best to do that.
Yeah. So totally. So no, what I'm trying to say is, was that marketing for her? Well, in a sense, yes, it was marketing. You know what I mean? Like, now people are on her journey. They feel connected to her more in a way. So you're sharing your life, and your life is your story, and your story is the most powerful thing ever. Every marketer, every salesman will say, like, your story, your narrative arc, that is what people buy. People buy into you. So, as Forrest share his story and skateboarding and breaking his back and writing his, I don't necessarily have an issue with that, but I have an issue with performative virtue. So, my friend who was sick, there's no virtue in dying of cancer.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So, I'm just saying, like, it's pretty awesome when people share the lowlights of life. I don't have a beef with that. I'm cautious about people sharing the highlights of their virtue in a world where everything is will to power, and in the West, will to power is always, oh, look at how lowly and pious. It's all bottom up because we live in a Christian world. Right? Like, not that everybody's a Christian, but Christianity made the world that we're living in. Does that make sense? Like, it's patterned after it. And even our vices, the vices of all of the pagans and the atheists is love. It's Christian. You know what I mean? Like, that never existed before Christianity. Right? So it's like, even their vices are Christian. So like for example, performative virtue. You think like the Vikings performed virtue? Like the Romans performed? Nobody did. Yeah. Right? It's unique to Western civilization. It's unique to a Christian civilization, right? So let's not be naive about this whole thing. Everybody has a will to power. And what people do in the age of social media in the West is will to power through virtue signaling, through performative virtue. So if you're seeking authenticity, don't point at the guy who's performing virtue. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree with a lot of what you said.
Yeah. So Paul the Apostle was like, I'll give a 2 Corinthians. He's like, I despaired of life itself. Right?
Yeah.
That's not performative virtue. You know what I mean? Like, my life is, he talks about anxieties. He talks about the marks of his apostleship. And it's like, I was beat, I was stoned. I was like, it's all lowlights.
Yeah.
And when he talks about himself, he begins to go into the third person. And then he's like, look, and he's apologizing for it. He's like, look, I don't want to boast. This is so boasty. I'm writing this letter. Like, how would the Apostle Paul TikTok and Instagram? He'd be like, okay, this is so douchey right now. I'm embarrassing, but would you just let me be a little foolish right now with you? Corinthians, just bear with me in a little bit of in my foolishness. But I pray a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so he knows that he's being performative. He's saying this is foolish. You know, allow me this indulgence.
Yeah, sure.
Does that make sense?
It's a good observation. Yeah,
So
I
like,
like that.
what I'm saying is like when we do performance or when we do talk about virtue, we have to like wisdom would say, or maturity would say, or authenticity would say, I know that this is douchey. I'm going to say it anyways, but just bear with me. And once you say that, it's not performative anymore.
Yeah.
Right? Like now it's like, oh, he knows. He knows. Right? So
it sounds like the gripe, and don't let me put words in both your mouths, is not the thing, whether it's the not going to the double awards or the broken back. It's the immaturity of not explaining.
Correct.
Hey, I'm not going on the dubs, but not just leaving it
for me, it was twofold.
Because often what you not say, it often is what you not say that says more than what you're saying.
Correct.
And that's what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. But you know, once again, like, let's not be too simplistic about it, because why would somebody leave out details like that? Right. So
to make a point is what you're saying.
Right. So I'm just saying though, so humility explains itself. Humility explains itself. When Paul the Apostle is writing 2 Corinthians, and he's saying, like, you guys have a lot of teachers, but you don't have many fathers. Then he begins to explain himself. You know, people that are proud, they don't explain themselves to anybody. I don't need to explain myself to you.
Wow.
You know what I mean? But fathers explain themselves. Yeah. And so when I see a leader or I see somebody with any kind of influence explain themselves and take the time, that is humility.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
And I just think, and so you were going to say something. I think Forrest does that. I mean, 5, 6, 7 minute reels explaining the broken back or whatever it is, like whatever situation.
I don't have a problem with his broken back.
Or whatever, you know, okay, double awards. If we're talking about, we're going back to the double awards then.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that reel. I should have watched it before I come. I don't know how much he explained or not explained, but I think he does. He does explain. He does.
He didn't explain.
I'd have to push back, my good man. I would have to say,
I'm all for pushback.
I don't think that he explained himself.
So what did he need to say that wasn't said?
I think he should have said, look, I have a lot of good friends in the Christian music industry, and I'm thankful for the Christian music industry. Obviously, you know, like I'm a part of it. It's just been the greatest honor. So I understand the need for an award show. You know, like there's a lot of people that are working hard to get songs into the public's hands, and but I just have this conviction where I'm not going to go to the Dove Awards because, you know, for whatever he didn't even. I have a feeling he didn't even tell us everything of the reasons why. My thought, and let's be an advocate for Forrest here. Maybe he was just like, I just don't need another accolade. Like I don't want to feel all uppity on myself. And I want to, this is a work of humility, something that God's working in my heart.
Sure.
Okay. He doesn't need to explain himself, but I'm trying to defend him here. My guess is it would be something closer to that.
Yeah.
Where he's just going, yeah, you know, like there's a lot of wind at my back and I'm feeling a lot of momentum right now. Everything is good in my life. And I'm just going to work a little humility in my heart. You know what I mean? He's going to go St. Francis of Assisi, you know, and that's cool. And that's great. But I would go, I'm thankful for the industry. I'm thankful for what I get to do. And, you know, for personal reasons and just my own conviction, I'm not going to go to the Dove Awards. Now, let me just start here. He shouldn't have said anything. If it's a personal conviction, like everybody else who's boycotted things or hasn't gone to things, just don't go. Don't say anything to your 7 million followers.
Don't say anything.
Absolutely. But if you're going to say something,
then
praise the people who are going and praise the people that exactly honor the people who exactly.
And there was lack honor. It was lacking honor.
It was
lacking a lot of things.
And that is why it is easy to say that he juxtaposed his virtue against those that went to the audience. He juxtaposed, you know, his.
But not by what was said, but what was not said. You're saying because you're saying what he said wasn't necessarily.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go. The doves are evil.
By what he didn't say, by important details that he left out, he indicted everybody that went, including the industry, and then that's what that's what Jeremy Riddle heard. Jeremy Riddle applauds him. Why? Because he
jumped
heard,
straight on it.
Correct. He's like, no, this kid is This kid he's the prophetic voice.
And I've got much more to say about this in times to come. Incredible.
So that is, that would be.
Okay.
But it's no longer personal. You know, this is my personal conviction. I'm drawing a line in the sand. It's not personal. You've blasted it on the biggest platform in Christian music history. Like he's got
his personal platform.
Yeah.
I mean, that started with his personal 500.
Well, look, Romans 14, where this all started, Paul says, do not, whether you observe the day or you observe every day, do not lord it over another. And I fully, and the impression that I felt, and this is someone I'm in the industry, it felt like a lording.
Help me how someone with that kind of platform does something like he's done. So I've got 1 million followers and I feel not to drink. Oh, I mean, that's a hard one to explain. But say, you know, what does he do? What does Forrest do when he
keeps it personal? He doesn't post.
I just think that's crazy.
Because there's no sin in going. This is the thing.
Yeah, but to just not go and then not say anything.
Okay.
People do it all.
And then but then it would the ripple effect of that.
Fine. No, I don't. I don't think anything.
So people would just be like,
no one cared.
Oh, I don't think. Come on.
And then he could go to the Grammys.
Yeah, but he's done himself out of that opportunity.
Correct.
Now, unless
because now he's absolutely boned.
Yeah, and we need him at the Grammys. This is the dichotomy of that.
This is the foolishness.
It's for me, Forrest.
You know, if I was him, I would be like, yeah, I screwed up.
Mm-hmm.
I should have gone to the Doves.
I'm going to go to the Grammys even harder.
And I'm going to the Grammys. And I'd be like, go.
I respect that.
I would respect that. I would respect him going, I messed up. And I didn't think about this. I was brash. I was a little stupid. Yeah, you were. You were brash. You were stupid. And you didn't honor other people. So take it on the chin and go to the Grammys. But if you go to the Grammys and you don't admit what you did, dude, you do not have a leg to stand. You are exactly what I called you. You are performative. And now that a better opportunity came along, this is the stuff that I can't stand, is when better opportunities come along and people take them. This happens all the time in preaching. You know, like, you know how many times I've gotten invited to speak at a little church and then a big church called and said, hey, you know, I remember this happened to me. Oh my God. I remember this happened to me. So I hate going to Canada to preach because Canadians are kind of like Australians.
Yeah.
Incredibly stingy.
Yeah.
Like they do not give anything. The pastor will pay himself well.
Brilliant.
But he will not pay you half of what he pays himself. It's incredible. So it's just true. It's just like, are you guys okay?
Australians are stingy. I don't know Canadians, but Australians are.
Yeah. So anyways, you know, and I don't do it. You don't do it for the money, but in some seasons of life, you really are doing it for the totally. It's like, hey, bro, like this is my full-time job. Anyways, so this guy calls. Okay, can you come up to Canada and preach? Okay. How many? I'm already rolling my eyes. I'm like, oh God, I want you to preach 5 times.
Oh, okay.
5 times. Okay, 5. It's 5 times. It's fine. Wednesday to Sunday morning. Okay. What's the offer? You know, like it.
Do you manage all your own bookings in that?
I have an EA now that does all that. But basically, I don't have a fee. I don't ask for anything, but I ask what they're going to give me.
Of course, it's your job.
Yeah. Well, it's okay though. I don't have a set fee. Most guys have a set fee, and I know of guys who
guys have a set fee. Preachers
in America, absolutely.
Minimum, I'll come for this.
I could start saying names, and they're guys that you love and you respect. And they're good guys. They have set fees. And I know a guy who I absolutely love, and if you don't wire him the money before he comes, he's not coming.
Willing to name names.
I can't do it.
No, I know you can't.
No way.
So
talk later.
Long story short, I don't have a set fee. Okay, I'm being a little performative here. Little performative virtue.
I love this is what I love. This is good.
So my dad hates that I ask. My dad's old school. He's like,
don't even say anything, just go.
Yep, fall on your sword. And that's what he's done for 40 years. And he's a legend.
I kind of like that too, though.
Same, but he's also broke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. And no, he has his honor, but churches abused him for 40 years. And I watched it.
Yeah.
They will. And I watched it happen.
Yeah, I agree, man.
And
that does suck.
And it ticks me off. And it's not that I'm against broke. It's just that I just watched my dad suffer and take it on the chin. And I'm like, I'm not going to be you. Sorry.
Yes.
So minimally what I'll do, Dad, is I will have a conversation with them.
Yeah, I think that's healthy. That's good.
I just want to know what you have me doing and how much are you giving me?
Yep.
So then I can arrange my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, so this guy's like, I'm going to give you $1,000 Canadian just to speak 5 times.
No way.
For 5 times and for 5 days, Wednesday to Sunday.
Yes, on a Sunday morning. So I called my dad. And when I call my dad, it's because, or I call my pastor Joe, but Joe wasn't my pastor yet. This is 8 years ago.
8 years. Oh, your feet would have been way lower.
I called my dad and I said, Dad.
That didn't get the balls. But
Sorry, I thought you were being serious.
I called my dad. I said, Dad, I've been invited to speak at this church in Canada. It's a conference, and he wants me to speak on the Sunday morning. So he asked me to speak 5 times, give me $1,000 Canadian. He's like, well, it's an open door. Go. And I'm like, Dad, the issue is like, I don't really trust this guy. I don't know him all too well. And as well, like, I think it would just make more sense if I did a Sunday morning somewhere else so that it could actually make it worthwhile. He's like, that's actually fair. Why don't you come to us? Because the amazing thing about my dad is
He runs a church in Canada?
Yeah, my dad was a pastor. My dad outgives churches with 10,000 people. Wow. He's got a church of like 400.
Yeah.
He is like freaking generous. He gets it. You know what I mean? Like, so it always went other people's way. Yeah. He's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So okay, you come and we'd love to have you. So you do 4 things with them, then skip to Sunday. So I called this guy back. I'm like, hey, I'll come. I'm gonna go to my dad's church on the Sunday morning. It'll make it worth it for me. Because I get to see my family, and they're gonna take care of me and stuff. He's like, no, man, I need you on the Sunday because everybody else canceled. I'm like, well, duh, everybody else canceled. Because it's a weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I knew a couple guys. There was a guy, a famous pastor in New York. I won't say his name, but you know who he is. He was invited to preach. He was invited to be at the conference as well. It was not a Hillsong
conference.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, long story short, I called my dad back. Like, he won't release me this Sunday. I just don't feel good about it, Dad. He's like, okay, well then I'm releasing you to say no. And I rarely do that, right? And so I called the guy back. Hey man, it's just not going to work for me.
Yeah.
So bless you guys. Have a great Sunday. A week later, a big church calls, and they asked me to preach. And it's the same weekend that the conference is going to happen in Canada. And so, anyways, a couple months later, I go to the thing. I come back. It's Esther Houston's birthday party on a Monday night in New York. And I see the pastor in New York, in Brooklyn, who was supposed to be preaching at that conference. I had just come back from the big church, spoke at. They were very generous with me. And I saw my friend at Esther's party. And I'm like, hey, man, like, how did Canada go? He's like, they canceled on me this week. I'm like, what happened? He's like, oh, the whole conference just folded over, like just full. And I was like, whew, am I ever glad I called my dad, stuck to my guns. You know what I mean? Like,
and submitted yourself?
Totally, yeah. Now, the reason why I share that is to say that I have heard story after story after story after story. Friends of mine, they're pastors, that they booked a guy who was hot stuff because, 1 minute you're hot, 1 minute you're not. It's like, I'm not hot anymore, but I was hot, and maybe I'll get hot again if I write a banger book or if I don't know, if I become best friends with, Tucker Carlson. I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? It's just like the ebb and the flow of the speaking roster. It makes no sense. There's always a flavor of the month, whatever. Bottom line is, guys become flavor of the month, and then they start getting invitations to big churches. But sometimes they had prior commitments, and they call that prior commitment, and they go, hey.
Cancel because of the bigger opportunity.
Yeah, they cancel, yeah. That is unethical. And what I'm saying is, this would, in my opinion, this would be the similar thing, where it's like, the Grammys come knocking, and now all of a sudden,
convictions change.
My convictions change. Yeah. And so I'm just going, be consistent. So if you're consistent, then I honor you. If you apologize, then I honor you. But if you're inconsistent, it was what it was.
I don't think he'll go.
Good.
Yeah, that's my gut.
I don't think he'll go.
I'm not taking bets on it. I want the best for him. So what I'd love for a guy like Forrest Frank to be is hedge in your performance. Just let us know that that you're being silly. Just do that, right? Teach people how to be virtuous, right? So it'd be like, hey guys, I know the Bible says not to share, good works, but I met this Mexican family and they had no money and I got to pray with them and I gave them $100 for groceries and they said yes to Jesus. That's great content. And you're teaching people how to not be performative, right? Secondly, if you have a personal conviction, don't make it look like everybody that disagrees with you is a pagan. So leave room for people with different convictions to be just as full of the Holy Spirit as you are, right? And then thirdly, when you make a mistake, just own it. Just be like, oh, that's what I'd love. I want him to be at the Grammys, so I want him to just do a little penance in a post.
In a post.
Yeah.
Please.
Totally. Just be like, just go, get on your knees and just be like, that was silly. And I want to be at the Grammys. And I'll be like, that's the coolest thing ever.
You respect it.
I would love that.
We don't have long left, but I did want to ask you, it's been like 2 and a bit months since Charlie was killed. And
we did our talk before that.
Yeah. And I wanted to ask about that. And I wanted to ask about, it's up now, is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I just want to ask about your experience with that and how just your thoughts on it the last 2 months.
Yeah. So a week before Charlie was shot, I was on his podcast.
That's incredible.
Very briefly.
Yeah, it's amazing, man.
Yeah. And then they had a freedom night once a month, I think it was.
Is this for their church arm of TP? Yeah.
Yeah. There's a congregation in Phoenix, Arizona that would host him or whatever. So so we did like an interview and
did he invite you?
Yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
he invited me.
So
You guys were chatting and that? Like had you hung out before?
Yeah, so I met him through James McDonald. James McDonald was a pastor in Chicago of an incredible church called Harvest Bible Chapel. He's arguably one of the greatest preachers in America in the last 50 years. He is a freak of nature in the pulpit, super sharp. And his son, Landon McDonald, preaches or is a lead pastor and teaching pastor at a church in Mesa, Arizona, in Phoenix. And he's on our platform, TheosU, and a dear friend of mine. And then Luke, his other son, pastors in Chicago as well. Good News in the Neighborhood, an amazing church.
Cool name.
Yeah.
Good News in the Neighborhood.
Yeah.
What's the name of the church?
Yeah, it's an amazing church.
Looking that up.
So Luke is
Cool
like
way.
sick.
Oh, dude, yeah. Luke McDonald is maybe the funniest and he's probably one of the more brilliant people I know in entirety of Christianity.
Wow.
The guy reads voraciously. His insights are profound.
Wow.
He's super humble. Landon is the same thing. Landon's a Bible teacher. He's a knock dead Bible. Anyways, so this family, I was living in Palm Springs at the time. This is maybe 6 years ago, and
did they
Daddy McDonald introduced me. Yeah, he's like, hey, come hang out. Charlie Kirk, I think, is going to drop by. Just come hang out. I'm like, oh, cool. So I went over, hung out. Charlie came by, and Landon came over, and we just I think we smoked cigars or something. So I'm hanging out there with Charlie, and we connect. We share. We get each other's numbers. We start hanging, texting each other, and I see him a couple of the times, and then I started doing some stuff with TPUSA Faith more recently. I have a couple of friends there. Guy that runs it over there, his name's Lucas Miles. He's absolutely brilliant. And there's another guy named Matt Hay that runs it. Same thing. Matt's brilliant. He was part of Hillsong Phoenix for a while. And anyways, so really good people. And so they invite me out. I go out, do the interview, and then Charlie flies to Korea that night.
wow.
And we're texting that weekend, and we had been talking about Islam for like the last 6 months. Just
texting.
Yeah, because it's just so apparently and clear that is the biggest threat to Western civilization at the moment. And anyway, so we're going back and forth, and then I was on the phone on the Wednesday they got shot with my friend Jesse, And Jesse, the last time I had seen Jesse was actually the Turning Point USA headquarters. My friend Jesse Newman is a pastor. He's actually Australian. He's from Adelaide.
Oh, cool.
And he pastors an amazing church in Des Moines, Iowa. And he's freaking a legend. So we're on the phone talking. I'm at the beach. And I get a text message from Russell Johnson because I had Jesse on speakerphone walking. And Russell goes, bro, Charlie just got shot. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, Jesse, Russell just texted me, Charlie just got shot. He's like, stop. I'm like, yeah, for real. And so, anyways, he sends me a link. I watched the shot. I'm like, ooh, that does not look good.
That's horrific,
yeah, totally. And then Russell showed me another shot, another angle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, he's gone. Like,
yeah, there was no surviving that.
Yeah. So, yeah, anyways, we were on the phone and yeah, it's just nuts. So, yeah, man, he was an amazing guy. And it's really sad. And the saddest thing I'm starting to realize is like they killed our nicest guy. And when you kill the nicest guy, the not so nicest guys start to move in, and it's like, it's crazy how quickly, Nick Fuentes is on Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because Charlie was alive, that would have never happened.
No way. Same with Mondami in a sense too, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that like, we're living in a different America. But this is real. Like this is it's not time to be polite anymore.
Yeah,
it's not time to be like. I was watching Dr. Frank Turk earlier this morning, and he was talking about how if you don't think about loving your neighbor. If you don't get involved in politics, bad people are going to get involved in politics. And if bad people get involved in politics, they're going to make everything really bad for your neighbor. And that's why Christians need to get involved in politics, is because of neighbor love. In fact, Christians should get involved in politics because of our enemies, because Jesus says to love our enemies. And sometimes loving your enemy is bombing Boko Haram, right? That's like the most loving thing to do to them so that they can stop committing more and more atrocities that will make the flames of hell hotter for them. So like...
Good perspective.
Yeah.
It is a phenomenal perspective.
Like if I stop a man who has murdered and raped a Nigerian family from doing that to 10 more families, am I not saving him on the day of wrath? So, and as well, I'm protecting, Paul says to do good, especially to the household of faith. The household of faith is in Western civilization, right? So why do we not prioritize our own?
And was the early church? It was to the brothers and sisters first the arms went.
Right. So, So what I loved about Charlie is that there was a call to action for Christians, and obviously there's going to be a lot of Christians that maybe disagreed with this, that, or the other thing that he said.
Fine.
But the truth of the matter is that it was a clarion call for the church to do more than just reach people. It's to love their cities and love their countries and love their neighbors.
Very good.
And even love their enemies well. And so that's what I am absolutely passionate about.
Yeah.
And I know that Charlie was far more passionate, and he did it so well. I mean, it's so sad. We lost
the best, literally the best.
Yeah. At what he did.
100%.
There will never be anybody like him. He's irreplaceable.
We're playing with someone last night, a card game, and he was anti-Christ, anti-church, and the reason he's come back and been curious again is because of Charlie and the death. Funnily enough, because he saw horrific evil, which then went, that leads
to a conclusion.
That was a wake up call for him, his wife, his surrounding family.
Yeah. Which is
in a way.
See, those are the converts that I like.
Yeah.
Those converts. It's funny. It's like Forrest Frank is saving millions, and I'm actually not saying that he's not. I'm just saying though that when salvation comes to a house and it changes perspectives, because I think that's what salvation is. I think that salvation isn't just I'm not going to hell anymore. Salvation is like my whole world. I see the world different.
Oh yeah,
now
it's shell shock. Yeah.
in complete totality.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like that for me is salvation. Salvation is going, I see through the foil, right? Like, and that to me that's repentance. Repentance is literally metanoia. It means to change your mind.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's not just going, oh, God loves me and I'm on a spiritual journey.
Yeah.
No way.
You know?
Yeah. The old is gone, the new has come. We put on Christ, new identity.
Totally. And there's a whole, I mean, in the same way that deconstruction is just converting to political leftism.
Yes.
It just is. I don't know anybody who's ever deconstructed and became conservative politically, right? In the way that deconstruction it's salvation for the Democrats or salvation for labor. You know, people are going to maybe not like this, but a guy like Charlie Kirk, he's showing people that Christianity built something, you know, Christopher Dawson said that Hilaire Belloc said that the faith is Europe and Europe is the faith. The reason why he said that is because the reason why he said that is because beliefs take on forms. You cannot have Europe without the ideas that made it so. Does that make sense?
It does.
And so the faith is Europe and Europe is the faith. And it's not perfect, just like any Christian is not perfect, but it's redeemed. It's sanctified.
Yeah.
You know, it certainly was. Totally. So I think that there is an apologetic to be made for going, hey, the world is fallen, it's broken, and Donald Trump is never going to save it. But there's good in this world that's worth conserving and preserving. And it creates an optimal place for human flourishing. And there are ideas that are demonic and they're against the family and they're against humanity and they thwart us and they turn us into golems and living in caves. And that's a salvation pitch, in my opinion now, as any altar call.
Great place to finish.
And of course there's
place.
Of course there's Christless conservatism. I know it, I've seen it.
Of course. Yeah.
But I'm just starting to go, maybe the more practical Franciscan approach, you know, is an approach that works for people. It worked like for your friend. And maybe Forrest Frank's, you know, invitation will work for others as well. Different, you know, whatever. Different baits, different fish.
Sure. Agree. Hey, part 3, what are we thinking? Where are we going? Florida?
I'll be back here in January.
Part 3, January. Man, seriously, thank you. That was a great conversation. Hey, and CMC, if you want, how do people find out about CMC?
ChristianMusicConference.com.
Great. And they can sign up and they can connect there.
Love to have you there. Forrest, you're more than welcome to come.
Yes, Forrest, please come.
Forrest, go to the Grammys.
Go to the Grammys. Brother, we need you.
Thank you.
God bless.
Hey, thanks for joining us. Just remember, if you click that little subscribe button, it will help so much get these episodes out to people who need to hear it. And we know we receive messages all the time of like, thank you so much, exactly what I needed, exactly what I needed to hear. This is amazing. And so that's what that does. Would you also connect with us on Instagram, connect with us on our website, you know, our emails on there. We would love to connect with you. What I'd also love for you to do is to jump into the comments on the reel and just let us know, who would you love to see on the podcast? Who's the ideal person to sit down for a chat on Kingdom Creatives? And we'll do our best to get them. So again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.